You don't walk into this doghouse like a hunting dog with a gun in hand and walk out alive.
Today on King David Studio Podcast, we have a room full of superstars. It's the cast of a brand new Netflix movie, 180. We have Bafana Mokoena, Prince Grootboom, Desmond Dube, and Warren Masemola. Let's break down what this movie is all about.
I can't stop saying this, but Unotolo.
Yes.
Jamini.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Like power in a box.
No! Hold me fast in thy embrace.
Oh man, I think what I took out of it, like especially with my character, is not every decision is right, man. You know, you just need to, as Warren said, you're not the only person that the sun rises for.
King David Studio Podcast.
I'm hanging out with big names in my world. I wonder if they think they're big, because I think they're spectacular. Kinali, Bafana, are you still in government?
No.
Thank God.
But he said it like it was a bad thing.
Yeah, like you.
He'll tell us later, yeah.
Like you. Bafana is right here in Tatemkwena. He plays easy on 180. Get clever. Bosso yadi clever. Yes. And Uba Grootboom. He's the light in the group.
You know what I'm saying?
He's the light in the group, but yet he's the steering. Yeah. And I realize you guys give him the respect that he deserves in that regard.
Yes, it's important to give people their flowers.
You know? Wow, man. And brothers.
Yes, sir.
Do you know that number, Gatlo?
Which one?
Yeah, try and tell, Joe.
SMS 41076. That's for 2000 FM. SMS 41197. That is for Lisedi FM.
Even.
Okay, I forgot the others. But I used to have them.
You're surprised, like I am.
No, I thought it was just one number.
No. I also don't. Yeah. So if I go to a different region, I would know the number for Limpopo radio stations.
Now we know, hey?
That's how we know
Performance.
The hits. Where do they come from?
En Renale Warren Masemola, ye, udlala set. Dane damanagem verstane. Yes, says me bra, you play some character I really don't like. Barkeman kana keman?
Lirumo. Rooms and rooms. More rooms to Lirumo.
Yeah.
That character is very like Warren, except
Really?
you know, very much.
You know, together with Netflix, we call the guys in so we can talk about this incredible film, 180. I think it's spectacular. I enjoyed every minute of it. It starts from the end, and that's how some stories are told. Yeah, and I enjoyed that. I remember thinking, oh, they got me. What's going to happen?
Right.
I want to start here with you, Prince, as steering. You know, among such big names, and some are not in the room with us here. Surely this must have felt big, because it did to me watching you. Haven't seen you dance and all of that. And here you are now staring serious. How did that experience feel for you?
Look, man, it was amazing. You know, getting to share, screen with these legends, I call them, because I grew up watching them. You know what I'm saying? And it felt great, man. And it felt, putting me in a place where I get to now also work and prep, because I don't want to be the one guy that is sharing the screen and is not delivering the way the other person is delivering. So it was a blessing as well, Thank God that we got put together and it came out the way it came out.
Pressure was there?
Of course, especially...
Describe it for us.
Especially... look, me and Warren have worked together. I understand him, but with Mr. Dez here and, Mr. Fana here, it was very much pressure, because it's like these, they've been in the industry for many years, so sharing with them was very much pressure in there.
Yeah.
But Prince was also ultra focused. He was so focused, man. Every morning we know when to part ways. You know what I mean? So once we leave our caravans, we know that this boy is no longer Prince. He's now in the character.
What?
And you could see it in his face the entire day,
What? So that thing at the actors is real?
Yeah, you lock in.
You're locking, yeah.
Man, Cause this is a story about a lot of layers, but a lot of it's the story about South Africa. And particularly now, in this year, in this past year, we've been dealing with a lot of dodginess in the police. And you, Des, you play. You are that's the guy that tells.
I'm the guy who's going to Madlanga Commission.
So how did you feel playing that role or reading the script and realizing, I'm playing this guy?
Yeah, it was very interesting because, like you said, it was also around a time when we were hearing a lot about what's happening in the police department and so and so. So having to step into those shoes now, it was almost, I can say it was almost a blessing because you knew where to sort of draw inspiration from, besides from the fact that
Shouldn't be the case.
which shouldn't be the case, yeah.
Mona, you're drawing inspiration from our country to be a dodgy cop.
It is actually quite sad, but yes. And I mean, here's the thing: when every actor has to love their character. And I tell you now, I enjoyed being
Really?
a corrupt cop. Yeah,
Listen to that.
but I think I also enjoyed just before the reveal, just being the dirty guy and no one knows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because most of it we don't know. Most of the movie we don't know that this guy Gemawaza and Lek. Now here's the character that as we said, I didn't enjoy you. And I shouldn't have. I didn't absolutely like this man. And to me, because I know Warren and we've hung out, but I saw the character and I hated him. Even when he's not shown on the screen, you carry his energy. Opening scene where there's a gunshot and there's blood that splatters on your face. And we don't see him, but we can see what he's doing.
Yeah.
And we don't like him for it. And you're the guy that sparks the moment in the movie that changes it, that becomes, you're the real spark of the movie. Tell me, getting in a character like this, what does it mean for you to play this type of guy?
For me, it was an ode, man. Coming from Pretoria, coming from Soshanguve, my older brother was a taxi driver. All his friends were taxi-associated people, whether taxi owner, taxi queue marshal, taxi driver, retired taxi driver, because he retired at some point. They do retire. It really truly felt like an ode when I got to play the character Yalirumo, because I grew up with these people. I took taxis, local taxis in the hood, taxis to town, different modes of transport like train and bus, going to school, all my academic school years until I matriculated. So I've lived with these people. My house is also not far from the main terminus called Transfer in Soshanguve. So Kodi Transfer.
Yes.
And growing up under the taxi wars of Salta and Felta in the early 90s and 1992, the killings and stuff like that. I quickly understood what the taxi industry is. And so when I got the script, I was like, I am going to showcase everything that I know about this industry and the different individuals that I've seen growing up. And much as they were not all in Lirumo, we found some beautiful unison as the other characters in the movie that we could actually spice each other up in a certain way. But I had my own 7-gun, not 6. My 7-gun was the spice of how do I relate with Easy as the taxi boss, my boss? How do I relate with the guy I had road rage with, Mandla's dad, Zach? How do I relate with the cops when they come to our workplace, which is our mine, the scrapyard? So for me, yes, I did put in a whole lot of characterization, but as for research, it is everything that I know. It's everything that I saw this past weekend when I was in Soshanguve. It still is.
It still is.
Yeah.
Very little has changed.
Nothing much has changed. Nothing.
Brafana, when you got the script and went through it and all of that, what type of story did you think the movie was trying to tell?
I think it was telling the story that both of you are talking about. It's about the politics of a country in flux. So we saw what we're looking at in Madlanga now. I saw the character. I only realized when the story of Katiso Molefe. I saw my character for the first time, but in real life there. And it's an interesting story in the sense that it never ever settles. From the moment it starts, it just
Keeps going.
It keeps going,
Yeah.
right? And that's where we are as a country now. I think like once we, just yesterday we were hearing about Kwanazi. Today it's another guy, 76 million. Now you know what I mean? Like it never stops. So that's kind of where the story is, and that's what makes it a relevant.
You know what I
story.
really found interesting is that, I mean, the end of our movie, his character is standing at the stop. I don't know,
The beginning of the end.
beginning.
Yes.
And then he takes a ride home into the devil's car.
And the color of the taxi is
Yeah.
red.
And for me, what was fascinating is that we live in a world now where we are supporting, unknowingly, the same people who are killing us.
That's true. That is 100%.
You know what I mean? We go to
Yeah.
their businesses, we give them our taxes and our money, and we give them this. We even sometimes hire cars from them.
Yeah.
And then later you realize, Esan, out here.
Yeah.
Start.
Can all the pothole so because the man, you know what I mean? It's just it's fascinating. These are the kind of stories that I pray that we don't tell in the next 20 years. You know what I mean? It should sort of fade out. So that comedy, family do it together. You know what I mean? It's sad that most of our stories from the time of Izo
We haven't stopped.
We haven't stopped.
Yeah.
If it's not worse.
It gets worse, and that's my worry. Is that in 20 years we're going to be telling much worse stories. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a problem. You play a character.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I was wondering.
Nna ke na diteng.
Yeah.
Ke futsitse mme wa ka nna ke na diteng.
Le nna ke futsitse moaka ke na ditetso.
Hey man, di a tshwanna mare. Di a dlala man. Tshwantse o di pa, o di reke once.
Beautiful, man.
You saw it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it too. I enjoyed seeing him.
I really enjoyed it.
I could see him in Madlanga answering questions. You know what I mean?
At the ad hoc committee.
You are known as this warm guy. You are known as the guy that sells, the end of life in that sense. You are known as this comedic character. That's how we've known you for many, many years. And you become the devil. But we like you. We like you. Because we think, you're a nice guy.
Right.
When you read that character, how did it make you feel as out here meeting Ale soft?
Funny enough, when I read the script, when we did the first reading, I liked the character. And I also obviously didn't know Hore at the end he's not a good guy. But that was the fascinating thing, that bad guys don't have a sticker that says, I'm a bad guy. We live with them. You could be in a bus, you're sitting next to a guy who just murdered someone. That's the life. And I think I found that very fascinating. And I almost feel like I had to ignore what Desmond thinks for this character. So make the character lovable until people judge themselves and they go,
Yes.
For me, obviously when we shoot movies, there's a lot of stuff that gets cut and they end up on the floor. But I think the story of how he got there would have been very fascinating.
Don't tell me there is a story of how he got there.
Yeah, there is a story.
Ah, man. There's always
There is always a story. Yeah.
Oh, man.
It ushayimini newuhlobeni bezenza ngale ngathi bezingakhathali tututu sajonga lemehleni sathi sajonga nalo engathi khona bezigcina.
You carry the emotional burden of the story, bruh, right from the beginning. It start with you, as the guy said, you get into character instantly. And you stay like that the whole day. But it must have taken a toll on you to carry the emotion of that entire movie. There's a scene that I enjoyed seeing your naked body, but there's a scene where You feel his pain, bruh.
Like there was no dialogue in that scene.
Yeah.
And yet
The world is on
Kimchita,
his shoulders, you can
and
see.
I know it. And I know that feeling where you just don't have words for what your life is at the moment.
Or you just don't know what to say. You know, it just shows in the eyes and it just shows in your body, and you just feel like how you're feeling in that moment. You know what I'm saying? It's beautiful, man.
How did you pull it off? I have to ask. Remember, I'm a layman. I don't know how you guys do this. I tried acting for 30 seconds and I left. You told me that I'm pop.
Tell us the story.
No, he's great at what he does. Yeah. No, I'll leave it there.
I was playing myself. No, I was playing myself on Generations. No.
Okay.
Hey, I was pop, bruh. I watched this like, what in the world am I doing here? Like, I would tell I was acting. I was trying to be like everybody.
Right.
So how you do that? Because carrying the burden, the emotional burden of the show is a lot of work.
It gets draining also at some point. But you know what? I think it's you just need to always stay in the moment. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what makes it much easier, and you get to that feeling more comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Because you have placed yourself in that. When you leave the trailer, I've already placed it. I've already seen it in my head how I'm going to play it. But then there's another way that the director will come in and tell you. But you know, you merge those together, and once you're in the moment, it just lets out by itself. You know, it just like leaves your body, and it just shows on screen as well. You know, so that's why I'd say it was draining, but it's just staying in the moment and just prepping as well.
Yeah. And Washange wave.
Very natural.
Isn't just a mature rag.
Jealous.
Natural.
Those who mention Durek, you must know they're jealous. I mention Durek all the time, and I know where it comes from. Waves.
You understand?
Yes. And explain to me when you got the script and you realized that this is on your shoulders. The guys are really supporting key characters, but supporting what we see you, at least 80% of screen time. We see you doing all these things. You have to tell me the burden of that and how it felt when you first read it and said, yes, it's my foot.
Look,
Said no, by the way.
It's very stressful. You know, also number two is that was my first lead role, my first film ever. So before even the script, before everything, you just need to understand that was my first film. That is my first time I'm being a lead of a show. So already, I'm already nervous. I'm already stressed from the casting already, you know. And then getting to the script reading and just hearing just how everybody's just flowing with each other and just how everybody's just connecting and just how the story is unfolding from this person to that person to this person to that person. It just made it easier for me to just, you know what, let's just tap in. You know, it's me and Pradez today, let me just tap into that. It's me and Prafana today, let me just tap into that. It's me and Warren today, let me just tap into that. It's me and my wife, let me tap into that. You know, so it just made it easier that I can connect, even if we don't know each other like that, but I can connect with you on the scene. I can connect with you, I can connect with you. So it just makes everything much easier for me to carry. You know?
Let's spend a second, guys, and give Prince, as Ntwana in the room, the flowers that he deserves. Because he pulled it off. Right?
Yeah.
What do you have to say about him?
For me, the things that he's saying are the sign of a real artist. The nerves. If you don't have nerves, you don't understand the work the weight of the work that you're supposed to do. But also, you know, the fluidity of understanding that what I'm doing here is important. I'm working with so-and-so. What are the dynamics of working with this person? What are the dynamics of the story at the time? Those things, I think, are what defines an artist. And I saw that in him. And I think this guy is going to be huge.
He's huge. He's massive.
And this is not the third time you say it. You've said it more than 5 times.
I mean, also like because it's his first film. You know that this guy is made for film. And you're going to see fire.
Prince is 25 going for 55. I'm telling you, he's very grown in his head. But I think, you know, I mean, we are soccer guys. We watch soccer all the time. I felt that when it was time for him to pull back. Don't go in the 18 area. Pass the ball.
Yeah.
Give a negative pass here.
Yeah, it kind of worked that way. Yeah. So he was sort of adopting everyone else's energy, encompassing it into the scene, Yeah.
Can read the room.
Read the room. Yeah.
Good one, eh?
My man, I give you your flowers. I worked with Prince for the first time on Fatal Seduction. Now, there was a different genre and medium of television, so that was series. So I had the liberty of seeing Prince go from series mode to movie mode.
Whoa.
And now also leading a movie for the first time in his career. Reminded me of when I led a production for the first time, and the weight of it all, it was with Jovija. Yeah. So looking at Prince the whole time, just zoning in, preparing before going into the trailer, quick breakfast, not seeing him on set the whole day, but only seeing him when he walks off, seeing him tired and worn out from character to human being, his persona, and the choices he made, the conversations we had when we were sitting down, the preparation towards our scenes when we had to do scenes together. One of the crazy scenes is where we go through the road rage at the traffic lights. How it plays on film is different to how it played on the day when we were shooting it.
You want to tell us?
Yeah, there were more laughs than anger and rage and stuff like that. It was just like him. Also, it's like the
Spitori is very funny, like how he says it as well. So there's a picture that they took of the BTS of us running lines. I am dying the whole entire time, which is so crazy. Oh man.
Dad, please don't get out.
o driver ba ngone tso betha di robot o malungena se robot se right uchayi lewen ke South Africa mo jahetse ka sethu thufi u bone umntu o understand usisibhana mo banda ke tla utshwara ka le ratele le one wena o nsitso enyane o ka re pipi ya mpia futsek no wow di reptek ke wena ke tla o fa mma lewen ka le ka molampa ka bola.
And because he can hear Sesotho Lispitor, but like for him to hear it at that fast pace and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and A B C D, and he's like, hey, so we had our moments, and to see him get into it is a testimony of the amount of work he put into it. And I'd like to think it's showing on the screen and the film when we watch. Congratulations, my brother. I give you your flowers. I mean, I've also watched him when he was dancing there, and then I saw him naked on a different set, and then I see him playing the role of a father and carrying the role of a husband, and just working with these people who none of them are closer, by the way, except for the character that plays his brother,
including the direct,
you know. So big up yourself, my man. Say it
again.
Like it's long.
No, but it sounds strong.
It sounds like.
But depending on what language.
Why?
But that's Zulu though.
He took us there.
Yeah. If Prince was ever worried about his future in the industry, I can tell you now.
It's saying
he'll be okay.
No, he's done.
You'll be fine. You'll be all right.
He's done.
Right. Just leave your head on the shoulders.
Yep.
Suba sister. Celebrate.
Basa qalel. Suba star.
Yeah, we are punch ama star.
But also I think he had a huge support system. Right?
Okay.
I can't stop saying this, but Unotolo.
Yes.
Dlamini.
Yeah.
Gentle Jesus, meek and mild, look upon your little child.
No!
Hold me fast in thy embrace. Let me see your smiling face. Give me, Lord, thy blessings give. pray for me. I shall live.
Unbelievable, like power in a box. So to see the two of them together in a package was just incredible.
No,
And it's
not
all crazy that we've worked together before on Jiva. And like just the process of the casting itself. Like I remember I was coming back from Cape Town and I had to come for the chemistry read. No, they didn't tell me who the other person is. Do you understand like how like locked into my shoulders I was until I saw her? And for me it was just a relaxed thing, like, oh, this is Knox. Like the running of the lines, I'm telling you, it just made everything just comfortable. And from Alex himself, he's just saying that, like, both of you guys look so relaxed. And we had a one each, but just us coming together and just supporting. I'm just agreeing with Brafana here that the support system, you know, like she's amazing, man. She's definitely amazing.
She's dude, we had an amazing cast, man. I mean, Kabelo Tai.
Yo.
Amazing. Yes, Carvas.
When I watched the movie the first time, just as a member of the audience, for me, he stole the show. I was just like, this guy. And I've known him for years. And I was like,
do you know the kind of guy you think he's like that in real life?
You know,
Yeah, you think he's like that.
Believe him. You believe or no, in real life, he's like that.
Wow. Do you know that something that's said about Unoxolo? For me, I've seen her on a lot of projects, and her consistency is unmatched. Silverton Siege, the character she plays, is amazing. And I always go there when I see her work, and I say, I wonder if you can beat that display. You know what I mean? Because I thought you were great there. And let me tell you, Tiam, she felt like a medium. She felt like I disappointed her. Do you know what I mean? The way she carried that. I remember thinking, I think I don't want to have a son and do this because I don't want to get this reaction.
Hey, my man.
That moment in the hospital.
And I don't want to give it away. But there's a scene where it's three of them, you and your brother, and her, because I don't want to give it away. That moment, Deza says, I felt like a medium. I felt like my wife talks to me like that. When she wants to really get me to be calm down.
Or over straight. Yes. There's a moment where she says you want to be right all the time. It's like, yes, Seth.
Because that's who Zeg is. Like he sees the world according to his view and nobody else's view. And what we witnessed throughout the film is that he's the cause of everything and affects everybody else's life in the film. And still Zeg doesn't see it.
That is in his head, he's just fixing things.
He wants to fix this the coach at school, wants to fix the child, wants to fix the taxi industry, wants to fix the
two kids.
Even the two chubby kids.
It's like him, Ren, go stop.
And so the wife says, my man, like, can you just calm down?
Does a Zeg character truly exist?
Yes.
I'm Zeg.
I'm also Zeg.
You know what I mean? I'm Zeg in me. Where, we were earlier talking about age and ageisms. And I was saying there's a particular age of kids that I don't want them calling me Desmond. Add something, prefix, Brades, Papa Des, Malume Des, something. And I remember my wife had that conversation with me to say, are you going to fix all these kids? And I went, no, I'm fixing the ones I come across. They'll tell the others. Hooray! You must prefix.
And I guess you're hoping that it filters in their minds and they become like that with even other people, not just you. That's what it is.
I'm a Zeg in a sense that I don't like people who litter, because it could be 100 meters on the road, and the minute that a box of a restaurant meal goes out the window, it just goes like, you know, on social media, other platforms, you can see people in first world countries who actually do something about it. So you find at an intersection or at the traffic lights, there is a zone where pedestrians must walk. Not just taxi drivers, not just taxi drivers, but even other commuters in their own private cars. They park where the people must walk. And in the first world countries, what they do is they walk over your bonnet of the car. So I wish I was in a first world country, because if I do it here, then I'm going to meet another Lirumo who's going to fix me.
That's it.
So this is my wish, that I wish we could fix the smaller things. You know, like if there's a pothole here, let's fix it. Like, I'm not even talking about governance and stuff like that. There are small little things that we let go of that become bigger problems in our lives and will affect us for 20 years plus. We're talking about an honest cop versus a bad cop. Now, the bad cop is going to be the same subject that's going to make and influence our film industry to talk about cops for the next 20 years. So we're not going to fast move away from Madlanga, because then Madlanga is content enough for us for 20 years. But had we done something about it, then we wouldn't be where we are. Not just cops, not just the commission, the cleanliness, how people greet. We used to grow up greeting people. Didn't matter if they were young or older than you, just a greeting. But now it's as if like people don't see each other. And that's how I sometimes feel like that's how people then don't have respect for other people, because then you don't see them. Because if you see them and you see yourself in them and through them, then get ahead any other 10 commandments. Do unto others as you wish them to do unto you. And if we live outside that, even if we're not Christian, but like just use that as a motto in life, I bet you the world will be a different place, a better place.
Wow. A Zach in all of us. Is there a Zach in you?
You know, a piece of him.
A small piece.
You know, a small piece. You know, this thing of him being a fixer and, you know, not like trying to really understand what the person is feeling or being there for the person. You know, me and my wife were just talking now the other day, and she was just talking about like how she feels and all of those things, about just something that I could actually just move and go fix it. You know, and I was not really, the way when she was speaking to me, I was not really paying attention to it. I'm already thinking about fix, you know, fix, which is also just wrong. You know what I'm saying? We're not just being there for the person and just understanding them, you know, and all of those things, which is also Zach, because if you understand it, he was not there most of the time to grieve with his wife or to just like listen or like feel. Or the only thing that he was just escaping that and just trying to be the fixer of what he started in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
Brafana, we live in a complicated country. We live in a country that carries a lot of the weight of our past. And the weight of our past continues to be on our shoulders because we inherited it from our parents. And they inherited it from their parents. So we continue to carry this level of disrespect that comes with it. When somebody out there, you're triggered, you know, that's why the scene that we saw, that's why we can manufacture characters like Lirumo in our midst. Some of them don't look like Lirumo, don't behave like Lirumo, but they carry that with them. So tell me your perspective about South Africa and Banna South Africa, because we are a complicated bunch. And now we exist in a time when and society, the women around us have more money than us. It becomes it's an extra burden that we never used to experience before. How do you analyze us in relation and in the context of this movie?
So let me start by answering from a personal perspective. So I grew up in Kroonstad, in a small town where we didn't have the luxury of anything. Right, so I learned to cook, I learned to do the garden, I learned to clean, I learned to do all of these things. And that becomes part of what's on your shoulder. My worry now is that we're losing that kind of responsibility, especially as men, that we don't carry the weight of our families. And that becomes a problem even as a society, because we forget what must be done. People are stealing 76 millions and all sorts of other things because we forget that is supposed to carry the nation. And that's the problem that I'm having with our society. And I'm worried that it's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. So I think as a society, if all of us took the responsibility of understanding what is our role, each and
individually,
yes. Each and every one of us, I think would be in a much better place.
Because remember, and I like the example you used, stealing 76 million, that is supposed to help the nation, but you're thinking you're helping your family.
That's correct.
You see, so there's already a conflict there in your behavior.
But David,
you're trying to solve your own poverty,
yeah,
and you just happen to have found 76 million instead of 76,000 rands. You get what I mean?
No, so I kind of differ with you on that, because, if you are supposed to make $1 million, right, and it can carry your family, it can carry your people, it can carry you, but you go for 76.
Can't stop.
Hey.
How now?
Hey. Then it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
If you can survive on 10 million, but you go to a hospital and take 800 million. What are we doing? You understand what I'm saying?
Got you. Yes.
But I didn't want to take it to that. I'm saying as a person, like at a personal level, what is your responsibility to the people around you?
You know what I found very fascinating, and I mean, it comes out a little bit in the story, particularly with my character, is that generally as South Africans, and I'm not sure if it's because of the system we come from, which is mainly capitalism, and maybe you'll agree, but I also feel that we've gone into this thing where we respect things and not people anymore.
Amen.
So I think, Deza, we had this conversation
100%,
once,
we did.
where I've seen as opposed to a bigger car. I've seen how people treat you. And that's all it is. It's a
That's true.
No, I've heard that. So and I think this is what our society has become. So everybody, because ultimately people want to be seen. We all want to be seen. Even a homeless guy, I tell the stories already. When you watch a homeless guy and he comes to the car, and when you say, they appreciate the fact that you acknowledged him.
Or you see them.
Yeah, man.
It's not looking straight
and pretend like you're fiddling with something
pretend
in
like
the
I'm
car.
on the phone or anything.
Yeah.
So everyone wants to be seen, and ultimately people will do anything to be seen. And that's how we get to the 76 millions, where it starts as 5, And then you realize, I'm just seen by these ones.
Yeah.
I must be
Yeah.
And then Dubai.
Yeah.
I'll even make it simple. I'll simplify it. So, talk about the community and people. So, a primary school I went to in Soshanguve growing up, Salababa Shapaka Asin. So, a classroom or two were affected. And then I go to the school to try help. And then I'm thinking, with the amount of attention that I have, I can probably get a little bit of something and contribute to the school so that the kids can go on with their education. And then the school says, we can't do anything with you. We need to talk to the SGB. Now, the SGB are not the educators in the school. Now, I have to go get permission from them. And they're like, yeah, but what is TV coming to do at the school? Did you just miss the course that we were trying to do?
Yes.
Just on Monday, after dropping my niece off at her school, I pick up a young girl standing with her mother. And I say, hi, Mama. On my way to the house, I drive past the school. It's my former high school. chat with the little girl. She's in grade 11. Drop her off at school. I ask her in the conversation in the car, who's the principal? Who's the teacher? Who teaches accounting now? Who teaches maths? And Mr. Sibeng is now the principal. And then I park the car outside the school. I go inside the school to say hi to Mr. Sibeng. And Mr. Sibeng and a few other teachers are in a school meeting. They have their meeting before the day starts at school, right? And then the one teacher says, he's in a meeting. Maybe wait for 15 minutes. I'm like, my house is just around the corner. I'll come by later. And then she says, but at least before Otama, let's get a picture. From the past to the present, I think that in Yari we see each other. So it's just about what do you got that makes you be seen visibly different and better. I used to drive a Picanto. I park at the fueling station. I say full tank, and then this lady says to me, "Yeah, Warren Buto raid on a kakar, muna." And I'm like, "What do you mean it's a kakar? I'm putting in full tank." It's like, "Yeah, but you in TV you must drive like a 4x4 must." And Kabona hor silly man.
Silly man.
I once had a guy,
a
homeless guy, who was asking for money, and I opened the window to acknowledge, to say, "I'm fan of vandag." I said,
Blinding,
"Maruvange kare groot mus."
Yes, sir.
Kire, Ivan. Angithi nyuku yami iye kule kare. That's why ngena hayi, you know.
But next time in Twana
You know?
Just says. Do you know something also that stands out, and I want to go to it. You said the character you play, Brafana, is a character that is so pivotal in the center of a lot of things that happen in our country. You made reference to these guys who are invisible in society, but yet they play such an important role. Easy is a taxi owner, taxi boss, has lots and lots of taxis around, and that means he influences society and the pulse of that society, and yet he influences it incorrectly. It takes us back to the point we were raising earlier, the responsibility that an influential kurut man in society carries and should carry, and they never get to do it. When you were playing this guy, I felt bad for you because I'll take rent. And I'm thinking, what feeling did you carry playing a character like this?
So I was just saying to somebody earlier on that this is probably the baddest character I have ever played.
What?
Because
You think Western General in Hotel Rwanda?
Rwanda.
No,
That was dirty, man.
They come in different
Spaces.
In flavor.
and yeah, so this guy is, you know, when you think of General, he's in a political space.
Sure. Okay, I get you.
So he
Yeah.
acts for people that he doesn't know. Whereas this guy knows, sees, and does these things to people that he knows.
Got you.
And that's far more dangerous.
And he's dead inside. He's just.
It's like he died. Yeah. It's you know what I mean? That guy in Hotel Rwanda still worries about whiskey and going to Scotland, and said he's got dreams. This guy, there's nothing. There's nothing left, right? So, and I think that's probably what happens to a lot of our entrepreneurs these days, that they slowly die inside. They slowly die. The responsibility that they should carry dies. You these days it's very few times that you hear of somebody who's doing good work. You know what I mean? They take that 76 million and they're planting it back to society.
Gangsters.
Yeah.
No, but
old school gangsters.
Yeah.
We're like that. That's why they were loved by their community.
That's
Your Pablo Emire Escobar.
There you go.
Their houses also had like people inside because they're helping. You know what I mean?
That's
but
it.
now, I don't know.
Sure. There's a moment where you have a solo. It's solo in music. I don't know what it's called in the acting world.
/ monologue.
Monologue. Ooh,
yeah.
my God, I should know that. Because one of my favorites is is what's his name, Denzel Washington. In Training Day, where he does what we all find out that it's the King Kong, where we all find out that it was an ad lib, most of it.
Yeah.
You have that.
Yeah. Well, that was also an ad lib, by the way.
Never.
No.
Okay, so in that scene, Fana had 2 lines. I think. I think it was just 2 lines. Yeah. And because I was on set that day, Fana said to the director. I remember exactly where we were. We were near the gate. Going into the thing. And Fana said, I'd like to stretch this a little bit. Yeah. And he had a piece of paper in his hand.
That he wrote.
Yeah.
We were all there. We were all there.
And I could hear Alex write it down. I'll see what it says. This is the director.
Write it down and then we'll see.
We'll see when we get to it. And then at some point I heard him go, "E!" And I said, "What?" He said, "Shh, you'll see it."
Who said E?
The director.
The director.
Yeah. And this was the result.
What led to that decision? Because now we find out again it's a let me add more.
So for me, a character is like a piece of music, right? So they start at one point, something happens, they either rise or the crescendo, and then they come down, and then they die or something, right? So I just felt that my character was not musical, and that we needed a different. We need a different melody now.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
You remind me of a little dog, a chihuahua, that ventured into the wrong doghouse looking for a bone to chew on. Little did it know that inside there is the big dog, bulldog, uhonyondo. You see those cars outside? Those are not cars, they're coffins. This is the graveside. You don't walk into this doghouse like a hunting dog with a gun in hand and walk out alive. This is my domain. I am God. I am Satan, the butcher. You're going to die, son. The most horrific violation you will ever see. But that's the easy part. The fun part is knowing how you're going to die, so keep your eyes open.
That moment for me, but also I think Alex was also saying that this character needs
something
else. Yes, because he has a lot of that.
No,
he rises to the top. Yes.
Yeah, but it's Warren. You know what I mean? Like Warren.
It's Lurumo too. It was written.
No, Warren. In every part that he has played, he gets to a crescendo at some point, and that's the insignia of his performance. So you always expect it with
at some point.
Yeah. Whereas Desmond has a different way of doing it.
Soul and R&B.
Yeah.
It's soul and R&B.
Yeah.
Not too loud.
Yeah.
But you want to sit and just enjoy it.
Yes. Yeah. And I also I liked the
little bit of a goatee. The goatee was
beautiful,
nice.
It was
and actually, I wanted to say, I never got to tell him, that goatee reminds me of a goatee a friend of mine has. They're from the same hood.
Ah, look at you.
There's a reference. When you look at the film the next time, look at him and tell me if you don't see what I see.
Yeah.
Wow.
The other Desmond.
Yeah. He's also Desmond too.
Oh, he's also Desmond. Look at that.
Jesus.
Same name.
King David Studio Podcast.